Hello friends, my name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain, and we're your fuck buddies.
We're a sex and dating advice podcast where one host is a terrible person, the other is very
Niall.
professional.
The other one is Niall. We turn your sticky sexy situations into sexy sticky situations.
Oh, not so easy to say, is it?
I've almost nailed it.
We're coming in with some spicy energy today, boys.
What do we do, Dane? Simply put us simply right now.
We find questions online or they're sent in from our lovely listeners on the topics of sex and dating, and we answer them.
Beautiful. You nailed it. That's a really hard line, and you did a good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, you know what, guys? I'm kind of riding high off a bunch of wonderful messages everybody sent in today, so you know who you are, and thank you.
Yeah,
you might not know who you are because we are recording this in advance, like further in advance than we usually do. But yeah, Spotify Wrapped came out, and some people are sending in some really lovely things, and I fucking love you.
It's very nice. Thank you very much. You know how to make our year.
Now, Dane, you want to start us off?
Sure.
Cool.
We just get right on into it. You don't have anything?
I don't have any semen-related sex news.
Okay. Because I do see that your name is Cum something. I can't see
Cum
the
Wallet?
Cum Wallet. Yeah.
I wanted to strike the fear into you.
Okay, cool. We're going to start here. This is Chocolate Candy Cake, and they ask, I sent him nudes. He responds with thumbs up. Yesterday, I sent my boyfriend a new picture of my breasts. This was the first time I've ever sent anyone anything like this, and I was obviously really anxious about his reaction. He replied with a thumbs up. Thought that was really awkward. Today, I told him I was sad about his reaction. He tells me he's not a boob man. The picture didn't do anything for him, especially since he has gotten better or so many nudes in the past that were way kinkier. Example of girls masturbating, a boob picture just isn't his way. I don't know what to think now.
Damn, I was like, thumbs up is fine, I guess. You know, he's not doing the best job, but it's not terrible. And then we got to there.
I knew you were going to be on team thumbs up because that's what you send all the fucking time, and it drives me crazy.
Thumbs up.
It's not an acceptable answer.
Thumbs up.
For anything. Except for just a casual thing of being like, I'm almost ready. Okay, cool. I'm acknowledging this. But if someone sends you a naked picture, even if it's like the amount of times I've gotten pictures of like someone's like close up vulva, which isn't really my fucking speed, you know what I mean? Like I don't find that particularly sexy. But
I was once sent the worst video ever, which was, I think I mentioned it before, but it was basically like a close up of someone just going to town on their clit. Like to the point where it was so close and so furious, you didn't really know what was going on. And then they would frantically like jerk upwards. You could see them like staring down at you with like the triple chin going on. And it's like, we all have triple chins when we're in that position. You know what I mean? When we're looking straight down. So I'm not, like, you know, no shade, but like it didn't make for the best video. And it would just alternate frantically between those. And I was like, what are you doing?
It doesn't matter. Like, at no point in time do you receive, unless it's unsolicited, you're welcome to, like, trash someone for sending you a picture that you don't want. But if it is your partner attempting to send you a sexy photo that you guys have, you know, are allowed to do, a thumbs up is no. And especially if someone then corrects you and says, hey, that's not the reaction I was looking for, you know, it kind of bummed me out that that's the way. That's what you sent me. And then being like, well, it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah. So what I was going to say, Dane, was that like, if you're dating and you get this like picture, it's different than when you're like starting to see someone. Like if you've been together for a while and it's like you get this, you know, and you're busy maybe, you could almost see where a thumbs up might be okay, even though it's still not great, was what I was going to go with. But then he just threw all chance of me saying that this guy might just be an awkward, socially inept person who might have tried and failed. And now it's just like, this guy sucks, because that's such a shitty thing to say to someone. To not only be like, it didn't do anything for me. I'm not a boob guy. It's like, cool, but they're my boobs and you love me. And it's like, way to fucking shit on me. And like on top of that, to be like, well, other girls, like, dude, what are you doing? This is awful and garbage. And you're mean and cruel, especially because this person did what we always want people to do, which was communicate. And it sounds like they did it in a very mature and like emotionally like correct way. Like, and you fucking threw it in their face.
Yep.
You suck, dude. Like, what were you trying to like effectively nag her into sending you more explicit shit? Because that's kind of what it sounds like.
That's something that you can talk about. If you do want something more or different or anything else, you're allowed to not be turned on by this photo. That's totally fine. But telling them that, like, I've gotten better is not the way to go about getting
No.
what you want. Like, you should have said at that point in time, this dude should have been like, hey, thank you for the picture. Very sexy. Next time, can I get this? Or
Yeah.
next time you're feeling frisky, I would love a shot of this. And that lets your partner know that, like, that's what you're into. Because right now you haven't said what you're into. All you said is what you're not into, which is this. Which,
Mhm.
like, then leaves her be like, well, should I do my butt next?
But
But I don't.
also,
If
she
not if
probably
you're not a
doesn't
butt
want to
guy.
do anything next
Oh
if
yeah,
you've
no, for
been this
sure.
much of a dick. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, this is hot and I want more, it's like, cool. Someone might be encouraged to do that. As opposed to this, where you literally just stuck your middle finger in her face and like grinned to yourself and probably wanked over that.
Yeah, it's this is not the way to do it, and you need to listen to your partner, especially when there is a like admission of, hey, that made me feel bad, and here's why. If that's ever something your partner says to you, you shouldn't backpedal as to why you are right. Like, because he kind of was like, well, like the reason I did, like, you don't have any right to be upset because the reason I did it is this, and it's like, well, no, you need to listen to your partner and be like, hey, okay, I'm really sorry that you felt that way. Like, at no point in time does he apologize for it.
No.
He just doubles down on it.
But yeah, it's like if somebody comes to you and like it's hard to be like, hey, I'm upset or I'm hurt or like you kind of feel like a shitty person doing that, which you shouldn't, but you know. So when someone has the like emotional fortitude and like courage and kindness to fucking step up and put themselves in an awkward position just to kind of like deepen your relationship and make sure things are going well and all this shit, it's like you don't take that as an opportunity to be shitty to them. You should take that as an opportunity to help them, to make them feel better and to like become a better person, better relationship, all these things. It's wildly fucked that this is your response. So get better. Even the thumbs up was already bad. Not that bad. It was pretty
It's
bad.
terrible. It's unforgivable.
No, it's definitely not.
It is.
Thumbs up.
Literally takes more effort to give the thumbs up than it does to double tap the photo to like it. You know what I mean? Like, even like, again, if you're not into it, just like it. There's no harm in saying like, hey, love your tits. Even if you're not a breast guy, it doesn't fucking matter. You should love
Like,
your partner's tits.
the thing is like being a like breast guy doesn't mean you hate everything else. It just means like that's your favorite. So it's like the fact that someone will be like, here's my tits. You're like, oh, I'm not a tit guy though. It's like, oh shit, sorry. I didn't realize you hated them or like you had no feelings. It's like, what the fuck? I would probably count myself as a breast guy as much as I hate that whole like pigeonholing system. I fucking love butts and I fucking love legs and I love everything. So it's like, you know, I would never say this. It makes no sense to me. This person's just being a dick for no reason.
Yeah, so I think you need to sit down with this guy and explain to him one more time. Be like, I went out on a limb here. This is the first time I've ever sent a picture to you or anyone of this nature, and your response makes me never want to do it again.
Mhm.
So I need you to understand that what you said both times upset me. Once, like, you know, the first reaction and your explanation to that reaction was a compound sort of kick in the teeth for me, and we need to talk about it. And if you do want something else, let's talk about that, but you need to express or learn how to express yourself.
Like a fucking adult.
Yeah, and without putting me down or without comparing me to other people. And if you're not
Yeah.
capable of doing that, then guess what? You're not going to be getting anything from me because we'll be done.
Yeah, I think there's a strong case to be break up with this guy. But, you know, if you want to give him a chance, say what Dane said. You ready?
Yep.
This is by M. Singh 539. How do you tell your significant other you're going to take a dump? In terms of phrasing. Like, I'm going to take a crap, shit, dump, poo, dookie squat? Surely there's creative phrasing for this.
Why?
I don't know. I wonder if it's someone who isn't in a relationship who's like just, you know, because like young people especially, and some people in general are like really like I know people who've gone through entire relationships not farting near their significant other or like hiding if they have diarrhea or like anything like that. So some people are just so fragile about that or like scared about that. And I wonder if it's like, damn, like you've been dating someone, like, how do you do it?
Again, like, why do they need to, like, if it's a medical issue or like, you know, you guys are going out somewhere fancy and you're like, hey, I've been pooping like every 30 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the theater tonight. Sure, that's important communication thing. But it's like, if you just have to go poop, just go poop. And if you need to like inform someone that, like, just say, hey, excuse me for a second, I'm going to go to the bathroom. You don't have to like detail what you're doing in the bathroom. Like, no partner at no point in time have I been like, really wish my partner told me what she's doing in there.
Yeah, but are you one of those people that never says you're going to go poop?
I mean, I'm sure I've said it, but like at the same time,
Dane, are you weird? Is this a thing you're weird about?
I'm not weird. I poop all the time.
Yeah, I know you poop. That's not what we're talking about here. That's not what's being examined. What's being examined is, are you weird about telling someone you're going to go poop? If they're
I
your
mean,
partner?
I say it all the time when we play video games.
To me?
Yeah.
But I'm not your partner, am I?
No, do I? If I have to go to the bathroom, no, I don't find Amanda in the house and say, "Hey, just so you know, I'm gonna go poop," and then go
But like,
poop.
are you weird about it? Because it kind of sounds like you're weird about it.
What? No, it just makes no sense.
So I'm not really sure why they're asking this question. Maybe it's just general fear of having a partner and being like frozen in indecision if they somehow discover you've pooped. For me, sometimes, when you know you're going to have a bad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just be like, hey, do you need to go to the bathroom? Because I'm going to go just rock a terrible shit. And then they're like, yes or no. Or you know what I mean? Like, oh, you need to shower. I need to go shit. Maybe you should run in and do that. You know what I mean? I feel like there are times you can do it. But like, kind of what Dane's saying is like, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? I think the main point is to not be hung up on it. Because like, it doesn't matter. It's like, if you have a partner and they can't handle the fact that you poop, you should probably date someone who's old enough to realize people poop.
Because honestly, I think it would be worse the other way around. If someone came and told me, like, hey, I'm going to go piss. Okay. Cool, I guess. Like if every time someone I lived with or someone I was dating had to inform me of what was they were about to expel from their body, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I don't care. Go for it. But yes, you're right. Like, there are times where I will be like, if Amanda's getting ready for work and I have to poop, I will usually be like, hey, are you done in the bathroom? Because last thing I want to do is make her late because she has to go and brush her teeth or do her hair or something. And at which point she'll just be like, okay, cool. I'll grab my toothbrush and toothpaste and let you do your toilet crimes.
100%. That's the thing. It's like, it's not a big deal. And it's just like, occasionally you're going to have to be conscientious of the person you're with. But like, in general, you should be totally free to say it or not because it doesn't matter. But like, you definitely shouldn't live a life of hiding it.
No.
All right, hit me.
This comes from OK Perception 1870. My boyfriend doesn't come in me. I'm sorry for English, not my first language. I'm 24 years old, from South Korea. Started dating this guy for almost 6 months now. Everything has been good and really fine. When we started dating, he didn't want to have sex for like 2 months because he wanted us both to run for blood tests and normal checkup, which I agreed. Now we have started going at it. He uses protection. Sometimes after sex, he hides the condom to make sure he takes it home with him. The times he doesn't use protection, he always pulls out when he's about to come and releases in a toilet roll or whatever that is around, and he makes sure to take it with him. Even when we are having sex in his house, after sex, he still disposes the used condom or whatever he releases on by himself, then asks me to wash up properly while he watches me. At first, I thought it was probably because he's an idol, which means celebrity. As she clarifies. Okay. Yeah, she clarifies that in the comments. He's just trying to be careful. I have no idea why he does this anymore. It makes me feel really nervous and insecure about myself, and I want to talk to him about it, but I don't know how. And I want him to release inside me sometimes or come in my mouth when I'm giving a blowjob. But I don't know what to say to him or how to talk to him so he wouldn't feel disrespected. Please help.
By celebrity, is it James McAvoy? Is he bringing it back to bolster his cum box?
Yeah, maybe.
Is this James McAvoy's cum box too?
It could be.
Man, it's so funny because I thought this question was going to go a very different way. And I'm very surprised that the question isn't, guy I'm fucking takes condoms home with him after. Because that's the wildest part.
I think the toughest part about this question is we don't really know what the sexual climate is for young people in South Korea. You know what I mean? Like, we don't. The only sort of like Korean, pop culture thing that I am invested in is Squid Game, which doesn't really have to do a lot with.
Well, the second last episode is all about that.
It's all about, that's the last game.
The last game is whoever has the most used condoms in their pockets. Hide your semen sin.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm assuming it is like he just doesn't want you to get pregnant kind of deal, or like maybe it's a gold diggery fear where he's like, if you get pregnant, like, because if he's wealthy, right, like you could be baby trapped quite easily. You know what I mean? It's like then you have money and you have whatever, and maybe it fucks up his career. Because I know like K-pop, like female idols are just treated so horribly to the fact where like everything about them is controlled and like their image is like just insane. So there's so much with that I don't know if like a guy is a similar thing where like a baby scandal might be, really severe on his his career, let alone the fact that like money and all these other obligations. So, it could be that. On the other hand, it does also seem like maybe he doesn't know a lot about how people get pregnant, because it's like you're not going to take a jizz tissue and get pregnant that way. I honestly don't even think squeezing it out of a condom is going to work very well for you. I think maybe he just is paranoid and overbearing, but might have some legitimacy with regards to his career or his status or his fears. As to what you could say to him, you could be like, hey, come in my mouth. You know what I mean? And if he says no, you could be like, oh, why?
Yeah, it's tough to like if, because at the end of the day, if he's just like, I don't want to, okay, that's kind of the end of the conversation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, and I think you're right. I think it does come from, I think there is sort of this fear that, if you're a celebrity, that maybe there is someone out there who's like, oh, I'm going to try to get us pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, now you got to pay me forever for 18 years kind of situation. Or, like, I think you're right. I think that's probably the fear of him being like, I don't want a sex scandal on my head. Because again, if it is like an actor or something who has the reputation of being like the baby-faced good guy,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing that they want on their thing is like an illegitimate, sex baby that's
just a baby.
ah.
It's just a baby, Dane. This is the part of the podcast where Dane talks about sex babies.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think you do need to sit down and be like, hey, so I noticed you're very protective about your condoms. I just want to assure you that, like, I'm not going to do anything weird with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
and if
exactly what someone who's going to do something weird with
I
them would
know.
say. It's like textbook condom stealer fucking line. Like, look, I'm looking up right now. Condom stealer's playbook. First line. I'm not going to do anything weird with your sperm. Give it to me.
Maybe just say, like, maybe just ask him, be like, hey, what's the whole like hiding condom thing about?
Well, like, the thing is, I don't think that's the main problem. It's weird, but like, fuck it. Not coming in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that's very different, because you literally, that is one, an act you can do together. And secondly, it's like that there's no way the sperm is still alive after that. We've dealt with this, I think, in the episode with Angel, right? Where it was like, if they come in me and we make out and they go down, it's almost impossible, if not completely impossible. So it's like, if you talk to them and just be like, hey, I noticed that you seem very, like, I'm not sure what the word is. I want to say intense, but maybe that would be offensive. But like, it's like you seem very focused on like your semen and like getting in the way. And it's like, I just want to like get to the bottom of that. Cause like, maybe if they explain, let them know you understand where they're coming from. But like, it would be nice for you to have an answer too, I think. Because for all you know, something fucked up happened to him in the past. And now he's being, double careful. Like, I had somebody lie to me about birth control before, and that freaked the fuck out of me, because we had unprotected sex, and thank fuck nothing happened, but could have been. And I literally don't know why they would have lied, if not to maybe have a fucking child. And that's terrifying.
And like, maybe it's an STD thing too.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I think this is 100%, as we mentioned, a image thing, because he, made sure that you guys got tested and made sure you guys were clean before having sex. Because again, last thing you want for your baby face K-pop star is, oh no, he's got AIDS or something. Because not that there's anything wrong with having AIDS or anything, but like, in a controlled image, it would,
like anything. Even if they were just like, oh, you had chlamydia. It's like, unfortunately, certain people are like desexualized as well. You know what I mean? Like some celebrities are hypersexualized. Others are desexualized, where it's like, if they have sex at all, everyone's like, what? Like, and if he's been pigeonholed like that, it could even be like a fucking agent above him or something. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard some pretty messed up shit about the like idol scene over there. So
I think, at the end of the day, you do have to just kind of be point blank and ask him about it. And from there, you will have to make the choice of being like, hey, is all this sort of like cloak and dagger espionage semen stuff worth it? Like, is it enough of a thing to like weird you out that you don't want to do it anymore? Like, don't just stay with this guy because he's famous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
like if you're not happy, you're not happy.
Yeah, I'm worried you're gonna be like, what? But he's famous, and that's why you'll stay with it, even though you're not into it. So make that hard call. If you're cool with it, if it's fine, like if it has no sort of bearing, and you can come to terms with the fact that he probably won't, come inside you or come in your mouth or whatever, then carry on.
If you're not on protection as well, which you haven't mentioned, You know what I mean? I can understand fully why he won't come inside you. I think you're going to feel better no matter what if you talk to him and
Hmm.
understand why. Because either he's going to say something and you're going to be like, oh, you're insane. And you're going to be out, hopefully. Or he will say something and you'll get it. Whether or not you'll be happy that he'll continue to do it or not is one thing. But it's like, if you know where he's coming from, it'll, I think, be easier for you to get your mind around it.
Yeah.
But as Dane said, 100%, if you're unhappy, you're unhappy. And if that's not going to change, either is your unhappiness. So do what's best for you. But I think you just got to talk to him. It's like, if he can't have that conversation with you, do you really want to be with someone like that? No.
Yeah. If he's this secretive about his semen, what else is he going to hide from you?
What else is he hiding? And where is he hiding it? Does he have like plastic lined pockets to put them in?
Yeah. The idea of going home with a used condom in my pocket, fuck, it
Hey,
sucks.
hey, I tell you, as someone who used to have sex in people's houses when their parents were in the next room and, would get stealthy amounts of tissue and wrap the condom in and put in my back pocket and dump it on the way home, it's not easy and it's not nice. So
Yeah. Don't like
sex
it.
as a teen is not great in that regard when no one has their own place and it's Ireland and you're 15. So the fact that this person is doing it as an adult, I assume he has a good reason for it. And if not, get out of it. And even if he does, if you're not happy, get out of there. But I think communication, conversation, definitely the way to go. Guy lied about height by B2425. His profile said 5'11, but when we met, he was maybe 2 inches taller than me, and I'm 5'5. I obviously didn't bring it up because it's not a big deal, but it's sad he felt he had to lie. Would it be weird if I mentioned it because he's insecure? I would reassure him and tell him it's not a problem.
I think if it's not a problem for you, I wouldn't bring it up. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't know. It's one of those things where we've talked about it before. It's like if he's willing to lie about something so obviously not true, the same way like if someone uses old pictures and they've put on weight or they're much older or younger, whatever, you're gonna be like, I can see that this isn't true. These pictures don't line up of you and then you in real life. Also, you're not 5'11, so why did you tell me you are? Like, there's also like some guys might just like, I know people who are like, yeah, I'm 5'9". It's like, nah, man, you're like the same height as me, and I am not 5'9". So like some guys, I think, get it in their head early on that they're a certain height and just don't know that they're not. So
Oh,
it might,
100%. I've had people do that before on both ends of the spectrum where like people think they're one height and they're like taller or, think they're definitely taller and they're not. And it's like, I kind of get it because, the last time my height was measured, probably when I like went to high school the first time. Like, I don't measure my own fucking height.
yeah.
Does anyone?
I mean, I'm sure there are, but it's like also it's not like your weight that fluctuates. Once you hit a certain age, you really kind of don't get any taller. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be one of those things where his buddy who tells everyone he's 5'11", or oh, I'm 5'9", and he's 2 inches taller than his buddy. He's like, oh, then I'm
100%.
5'11".
Yeah. I would say, yeah, like Dane said, if it's not a problem, don't bring it up because bringing it up makes it seem like it's a problem. And I don't think it's going to make him any less insecure. So it's like, if you like the guy and it's not an issue, just keep dating the dude. And it's like, maybe in a year or two, it'll be like a funny story because at that point, it'll be clear that it didn't matter and it wasn't a problem. Whereas like right now, if you bring it up, it might be kind of upsetting. I don't think it's a like devastating lie, even if he was aware, because I know a lot of people are super insecure about their height, and especially like look at half the fucking profiles we look at. It's like guys only X height and up. I get it. So if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is Garb Hilly from Reddit.
Hate those garb hills.
Goddamn Garb Hilly. They ask, what makes sex good? My boyfriend has had many, many girls in bed, some of them really hot, but he says that sex with me is insane. He's feeling things that he never felt before. He says that sometimes it feels like he's on ecstasy. I believe him because it wasn't always quite like this. He always said he found sex with me especially nice for some reason. Thing is, he took my virginity. In the beginning, I was just lying there trying to get used to the feeling of having sex, but now, oh man, he's making noises, pulling faces, laughing, crying, LOL.
Whoa.
And again, he's had girls that are exciting, hot, experienced, exactly his type, etc. I really don't do anything crazy or different in bed. My body is pretty average too. So what makes sex good? Is it hormones and pheromones? I'm just wondering.
I like how they seem to think that having a good body means better sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe you're a little bit more turned on or whatever. But again, it's like if you're attracted to them, you're attracted to them, full stop. That's, kind of where it's at. If you are in love with someone, the sex is generally better. If you're closer to someone, like I don't know if he's been in relationships with these people or not, but it's also like if you're fun and he can like let his guard down and you listen and you guys work together and all these are all things that make sex good.
Yeah, like it's it doesn't just matter like exactly like you said. Attractive doesn't equal good in bed. I would say probably some of my worst sexual experiences are with some of the most attractive people I've slept with.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I don't know if there is a correlation for that, but for me, I have the best sex with people that I connect with. And it doesn't really have anything to do with what they look like or their body type. Obviously, I'm attracted to them, so I'm having sex with them. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have sex with someone I wasn't attracted to. But having that extra layer of irresistibility, and it's the same way of like, again, you might not look like Megan Fox or Scarlett Johansson, but there might be that little quality that you have, that something, that je ne sais quoi, that he's never come across before, and whatever it is about you that you essence drives him crazy, and like that's what makes good sex. Whatever that little spark is, it doesn't matter if you have like the biggest tits that he's ever seen, or the smallest waist, or whatever other sort of arbitrary value you've assigned to these other women. They might just not have had your spark.
But also, it's like, you could lie there. You could be the hottest person in the world and just lie there like a corpse. That's not good sex.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally be, oh, fuck, we found her. It's the hottest girl. You're having sex with her. Oh, she's not doing shit. Oh, she's lying there. She seems disinterested. Damn, this sucks. You know what I mean? Like, that's more important. It's like how into it you are, how like receptive and responsive, and like what you're doing as well. And like, again, your comfort levels and like your energy, and like sometimes just like your smell and your taste, and like all these things all combine to good sex. You could look like your looks don't factor into it. Again, aside from what we've said, where like you're not going to sleep with someone you're not attracted, right? That's the important part, but that only gets you in the bedroom, and then everything else takes over. Also, does it matter in a sense? You know what I mean? Like you're killing it, so that's great.
Yeah, like absorb this into your confidence. It's rare that we get like those really. I mean, maybe this is more of a dude thing, but it's rare that you get to feel like you're doing a good job in sex. In the sense that like men's sexual performance usually boils down to penis size and stamina. That's usually all that's ever really talked about in terms of whether a dude is good in bed. It's like either he's got a big dick or he can last forever.
Yeah.
Right? Like at no point in time do you ever really hear that like, oh, he's excellent at dirty talking, or he's, he does exactly what I want. He's really good at going down on me. Like those
Which
are things
I think is pretty fucked up. I think it's a lot of why men are so insecure about literally those two things, size and stamina. Because like everything else is thrown out the fucking window when it comes to men. It doesn't matter. And by that I'm saying it does matter, but the way you'd see it on television or hear people talking, you would be forgiven for thinking that they don't fucking matter, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same with ladies. But this is an opportunity to bolster your confidence and be like, hey, I'm doing a great fucking job. I'm sexy. I'm doing something right. And it might just be a natural talent of yours. Maybe you're just good at fucking. Like that could be an option for you, and you should be proud of that. That should be something that you enjoy, as opposed to trying to overanalyze, because I'm worried the more you try to figure it out, it's like me with bowling. Those first couple frames of me bowling when I'm just fucking hucking that ball, strike, strike, strike. But the second I start thinking like, oh, okay, that's the technique, I'm in the gutter for the rest
100%.
of the fucking game.
100%. That's why I get good at pool once I drink just enough to like just fucking hit some shots and not really think about it.
Yeah.
But then once I either get so drunk that I'm just bad, or start to sober up and start to think again about it too much, I start fucking up. Yep. So don't worry about it. I'm like, fuck these other people, because I can kind of feel the insecurity, like, oh, they're hot, they're his type, blah, blah. They're not the one rocking his world. They're not the one in his bed. Like, it doesn't matter if someone's hot in your eyes or just his type in your eyes. It's like, obviously you're it for him. So like, fuck it.
And let's talk about this guy for a second. The fact that he's not bringing these women up, it doesn't seem. It seems like you're comparing yourself. he has been very sort of singular focus of being like, hey, you're incredible. You're
Yeah.
very good in bed. So take his word for it. Like, if you yourself is like, damn, he has a ton of experience and he slept with all these people and all of them are so attractive. Don't make that an insecurity thing. Make that a sign that like
Yeah. You
like
fucking
if
killed it.
out of all of those people, he's gushing about you.
Literally and
Literally, and
figuratively.
damn it.
Gooshy.
Goosh.
So you're killing it. Get that fucking insecurity out of your mind and continue to have good sex. You know what? Try to make it even better.
Yeah,
That's your real task.
this is like the fun part of sex is when you find someone that you just like click with and the sex is inherently good, then you get to like play. You know what I mean? You don't need to worry about fine tuning the basics. If you've got those things covered and you're inherently on the same wavelength, now you get to like play some games. Now you get to sort of like kick it up a notch and figure out like what really is going to blow his fucking mind and what he can
100%.
do for you as well. You know what I mean? Like if you know you have this power over him, use it. Make this a time and be like, all right, like I'm not going to do this until you do this for me. And obviously don't make it a toxic thing. Make it a fun game thing.
Yeah, don't use this to bully him or withhold sex or like,
No,
But
but
you could definitely like I don't feel any mention of you saying he rocks your world.
yeah,
Does he?
that's what I'm
If you
saying.
don't, communication. You know what I mean? You could be like, hey, thanks. I'm so glad that I do blah, blah, blah. And you could be like, hey, what is it that I do that you really like? One, for your own knowledge, and two, so you can keep doing it. But then you could turn that conversation into a, you know what I really like when you do, and nail home what you really like what he does, and maybe even suggest some things and turn it into incredibleness for both of you.
Yeah, play the game of being like, cool. Like, let's say you write his, you being on top is his favorite thing, and you do a great job doing that. Be like, cool. I'm not gonna ride you until you make me come with your mouth or something. You know what I mean? Like, and that sort of like power is a fun thing to play with. And it's also like a good motivator for him. He's got, you know what I mean? Like the idea of being like, cool, I'm going to make you fucking come so hard that you're going to want to ride me. You know what I mean? Like it's that sort of fun playfulness that I think I hope our show helps provide other people. Like I want the world to be fucking like you guys.
I will say, I remember we got that feedback once. We did the like deep dive into blowjobs and hand jobs, and they were like, "Our sex life is so much better because of you guys." And I'm like, "That's great. That's so cool. That's what I want from this. I want people to have better sex because of us."
Yeah, I know we talk a lot about, the toxic side of relationships, and there's a lot of, us being like, break up with this asshole. But at the end of the day, like, I hope you can listen to the negative parts of this, learn whatever we're trying to teach or whatever we're talking about, implement it onto yourselves so that you don't find yourself in that situation to begin with. But then also like this conversation, like if you ever find yourself in a situation of being like, why does he like me so much? That's not the question you're asking. The question that you're asking, or really the statement you should be saying is, this guy likes me a lot. Like that's what it should be. If someone says, hey, I'm really, really into you, the question shouldn't be why.
It should be a statement of like, hell yeah, he is.
It should be like, okay, cool, thank you. And if you're into them too, reciprocate those words. Like, stop second guessing yourself. I guess what I'm saying is, what I mean? Like, just really sort of lean back in your accomplishments, in the things that you're good at. And if you ever find yourself in a relationship, sexual or otherwise, that feels good and is healthy, and you guys are having a great time, don't worry about the exterior forces. Focus on yourselves. Have a great time. Have great sex. And fuck everything else.
This is by Mousy. I wish catching feelings wasn't viewed as a negative thing. If I've been seeing someone for a while who I begin to care about, why is that such a bad thing? I wish that in the dating world, it wasn't viewed as a touchy topic to begin to get feelings for someone you're dating/seeing. It just seems natural to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I understand that it does have like a bit of a connotation, that it's like, oh no, this person caught feelings. But I think that's only if you have specifically said that you're not looking for anything serious.
Yes, thank you. Because dating and seeing, and they're very broad terms. You know what I mean? If you're fuck buddies and you catch feelings, yes. Because you have a mainly physical relationship, that changes the dynamic. But if you're seeing someone, if you're going on dates, it isn't an issue. And I don't think I know anybody who that has been an issue for.
Yeah, like I've had situations where there have been people I've been very casual with who have then been like, oh, hey, actually, I've started catching feelings for someone else I've been seeing, and I kind of want to see where that's going. And like, I'm like, hey, that's great. That's good news. I think the question, or rather the connotation that catching feelings is a bad thing is only for people who don't really respect that some people don't want to date exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people who are like, no one wants to be like, everyone just wants to fuck around and no one wants to be, no one believes in monogamy anymore, blah, blah, blah. I think if that's your stance on dating, or that you think that like, once you start seeing someone, you're not allowed to see other people.
Mm-hmm.
If these are your stances, then yes, I understand why you think catching feelings would be a bad thing. If you're ignoring other people's, preferences to remain non-committal or remain open or remain, slightly less exclusive.
Well, I think it's literally like, if this is a problem you're having, the problem isn't that catching feelings is a bad thing. It's that you're not specifying, or you're misconstruing what your relationships are, or you're just never having that chat. Because if someone just wants something physical, then yeah, you catching feelings can complicate things for sure. But if you guys are like working towards possibly dating, etc., catching feelings is definitely not a bad thing. Even if they're unrequited, it's not like, oops, you transgressed. It's like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm not there yet, or like, I don't have them back. But catching feelings themselves isn't a negative thing. So I think you just really need to look at the relationships you've been in where this has been an issue and realize that like, it's probably just because you haven't specified or you've misconstrued it.
I guess it also is something to examine in your own life is when you're catching these feelings and how it's happening. Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you catching feelings after one date and getting really, really intense with people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you like, oh, that's it. You're the one. All the sparks are there. Time slowed down. The rose petals fell from the sky. I'm in love with you. And it's like, we had coffee once.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. Like, catching feelings can be negative if it's wild and too soon, etc.
So I guess you really need to sort of zero in and focus in on like, are you respecting people's disclaimers or, statements of what they're looking for, their statements of intent. If they're saying, hey, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now, are you still being like, oh no, I caught feelings and now I'm going to try to date these people even though I know they don't want to date exclusively? Because yes, that will come across as bad for you. They'll probably be like, oh, actually, I'm not looking for anything serious. I did tell you that, so I'm going to back off. So it's like, oh, that's bad. They're bad connotations. It's like, no, that's just the nature of the game, unfortunately. I guess also, and like the other thing is like, when are you catching them? If you're catching them way too fucking fast and way too intensely, that's also troublesome.
But in general, it isn't an issue unless you're in those situations or you have someone shit. You know what I mean? But like, if you guys are both working towards presumably dating, it's like, even if they don't, feel them back, there's nothing wrong with feeling them at some point, because that's kind of the goal. Okay, let's do this one. I think this is fun. This is by Help Me Seduce My Wife.
Ooh.
I, 36-year-old male, have no game, but my wife, 35-year-old female, wants me to seduce her at a bar. Can you help me? I'm 36 and I've been married for 7 years. I never really had problems getting into relationships with women. I know that sounds strange, seeing as I have no game, but I'm a nice guy and people like to hang out with me. I'm sure I'm on the autistic spectrum, but I've never been diagnosed with anything. When I was a kid, my parents forced me to do social activities, so I always had male friends and female friends, which helped a lot. As I got older, I stayed in the habit of doing activities with people, meeting people at jobs, etc. Even though it's uncomfortable for me to talk to people I don't know, I push myself to get to know people over time. I'm more comfortable in front of the computer than striking up a conversation, waiting in line at the store. I always start sweating when I'm trying to make small talk, and it's so awkward. However, as I get to know someone, I become much more comfortable. They start to like me. Furthermore, I've never been able to pick up a girl at a bar without already knowing them from something else. I've never been able to ask a girl out in the street or pick them up at the club without having some kind of friendship or relationship where I report with them already. I assume they mean have rapport, but they said have a report. Somehow, I've been able to convert this into relationships or sex, and to be honest, I have no idea how the mechanisms work. I would like to learn how to pick up a girl, brackets, my wife, at a bar or a club. My wife asked if I could try to seduce her at a bar or a club and pretend I don't know who she is. Problem is, I think I'll embarrass myself if I try to seduce her, because I don't actually know what I'm doing. Is there some website or something I can research how to do this? I exercise, so I'm in good shape, and have nice clothes and colognes, which my wife picked out for me. I also make a really good salary, so my wife already likes me. I don't think she'll be much of a problem to pick up. However, I'm nervous because what if she realizes I was never able to pick up a girl without knowing them? If someone can help me get better game, I'd appreciate it. Also, my wife knows I'm bad at small talk, but she asked me to do this because she thinks it'll be fun and sexy. I want to try to do this for her to make sure she's happy and having fun being married to me, even though it's causing me a lot of anxiety. If you can give me suggestions, it would be very helpful. Thanks.
Okay. All right. This is actually really, really fun.
It's also kind of wild because the amount of times he's like, man, but I can only pick up people I know. Yeah, dude, it's your wife. I hope you know her by now.
Well, I think he's more saying that, like, if they're pretending that they don't know each other.
But you still do know her, is the point.
Sure, yeah. Okay. Here are I think some tactics that you can use that will be fun in this scenario, knowing what we know.
Can I go first?
Things, yes, absolutely.
Batman voice.
Batman voice. That was pretty much the only thing I had.
Mm-hmm. Now,
sneak up behind her when she's not paying any attention, rip her headphones out of her ear and say, "Hey, girl."
Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing is, sorry, I should have prefaced first, you have to get in and make sure it's not a cute bartender or Starbucks barista who might smile and speak in a deep, seductive voice, because it's 100% running away if that's the case.
Yeah. I would like to know, are they going out with friends, or is it just like, is she picking a bar and then he has to go there?
I would hope not going out with friends. That would, I think, would actually make it weird.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so here's what I say you do. And this is something I like to do. Hopefully she's like at the bar, like the actual wood of the bar, and you go up to order your drink beside her, and while you're waiting for your drink, you have very small talk. You look at her, you say, "Oh, hey, how's your night going?" As you're waiting for your drink, or as you're waiting for the bartender to go, you shoot the most casual shit ever, and when you get your drink, be like, "All right, great. Hope you have a great night," and you walk away.
100%.
But
and this actually works very well for actually picking people up at the bar.
No, I think this is our chance now to walk through how to seduce someone for this man and also for everyone. And I think the key here is, one, to keep it very friendly, keep it very light. Don't comment on what they look like. Don't give her a compliment. Again, this isn't a like negging thing. It is just meant to be as non-threatening and as light and as fun as possible. This is you waiting for a drink and killing time. This isn't you making a play on this woman. So you're there, you get your drink, and then you say, "All right, great. Lovely chatting with you. Have a great night." Boom. And you walk away. And you got to do it confidently. And I think that's the thing, probably is going to be the struggle for you. What would you do after that now?
Well, I think you go up for another drink. And then when you're up for your next drink, then's the time where you can like shift it a little bit. So you can be like, "Oh, what are you drinking?" And if she's like, "Oh, it's Manhattan," be like, "Oh, maybe I'll try one," or whatever. Maybe even buy her a drink. I was going to go with a whole gambit where like you just play up the whole cheesiness of the situation and like come in with like a ridiculous like business card and toss it down in front of her. Or like go to the bar and be like, "Could you send that beautiful woman a drink from me?" And like work the cheesy like movie angle, because I think it would be funny and fun. Then if it didn't work out, you wouldn't have to be embarrassed because it's obvious that you're like being a little cheesy.
I'm worried that like I would double down on the seriousness of this. I would take this so seriously, and not like
too seriously. Because the thing is, as much as I agree with what you're doing, and I think it could work, I feel like maybe the wife will be like, "Wait, where's he going?" And maybe he's gonna freak out when he has to walk away and bide some time before he comes back, because he's already an anxious man.
Yeah,
but he doesn't need to train. He's got a wife.
But okay, that you're missing the whole point of this. In this scenario, he does not have a wife.
Yes, but in reality, he does.
Sure,
and he's very anxious. And I'm saying walking away and having to like, presumably finish that drink should, but will it? Because this man's very anxious.
I don't know.
You continue your thing. What would you do next?
Yes, you take your time. You don't necessarily have to finish your drink or whatever, but try to get somewhere where you can still see her and make eye contact. Maybe on the other end of the bar, somewhere, you know what I mean? Like somewhere where you could still every now and then catch glances.
Not weird staring. Not
No. While you're taking a sip of your drink, maybe you're watching the game on the TV, whatever, you put your drink down, you just happen to catch her eyes. And then I think it's fine to be a little bit more overt with your like checkout. Check her out. You know what I mean? Give her a little once over. Not creepy, And this might be something you need to kind of like work on and fine tune. But I think like a full sort of like, okay, yeah.
I think it's time for the cheeky grin at that point too.
Yeah. And then at that point, I think you can make your move. You can go over and just be like you said, I think now's the time that you can buy her a drink or offer to buy her a drink. And I would wait for her to, you know what I mean? Like strike when the drink is low, head on over and be like you said, what are you drinking?
And that's the thing. If she's reading
the same thing,
this is also a good time to be like, oh, like, what are you reading? This is the time where you change it from like, oh, this is friendly, passing, not really serious to like, oh, I'm taking a step further. I want to kind of get to know you. Not the time to be like, you got nice tits, you know, because no one gives a shit. No one wants to hear that. It's a personal and like interesting take that you're gonna bring to the table. You know what I mean? What are you drinking? What are you reading? Or like, you know, anything. But you're gonna like actually be able to have a conversation now because presumably you've exchanged pleasantries. She knows you're not a creep, at least a certain amount. You know, you've kind of gotten like that tentative safe tick, bring it in a little deeper. And then like if you buy a drink or like say, oh, do you mind if I join you? You know, these are all very easy ways to like get together. And guess what? It's not going to go wrong because she's your wife.
That's the thing. Like it would be a powerful move if she's like, no, sorry, not interested. I'm married. But like, I think that's like, once you're at that point, once you've established sort of the like, oh, you're playing this game. I think there's no harm in asking fun questions like, oh, are you here by yourself? Like, where's your husband? I think like that kind of like cheeky, fun cheesiness, I think is where you can start like kind of poking her a little bit, being like, huh? And then, yeah. I think
on top of that, it's like, you know, this person so well that like, you don't have to pretend you don't know them necessarily. You can have fun by like, let's say they're reading a book and they're like, oh, it's pretty good. You could be like, oh, well, you should check out this person and like name drop her favorite author. Or like if she's drinking wine, but you know she loves, you know, old fashions, then be like, oh, do you mind if I get you a drink? And be like, old fashioned. And be like, oh no, you just kind of look like you'd like this drink.
Yeah,
you know, like you have all this insider information. I think that'll be sexy as well. Just like, because you're playing a game at that point, and there's like a little bit of fun.
So here's my closing move for you. You sit there and you think and you say, one, you need to plan a bar closer to your place. A bar that you like, a bar that's like maybe a little darker, a little more intimate, a little quieter, a little sexier. And you then hit her with I bet if I can guess your horoscope sign, you've got to come have a drink with me at another place. And
now, you need to make sure you know her horoscope sign.
Make sure you fucking know her horoscope sign. Or anything that you can like. I bet I can guess your favorite color.
Now, you know what would be funny is if you flip that and be like, if you can guess my star sign, I'll take you for a drink at this other place I know. Because that's funny, because it puts the ball in her court and she knows it.
Yeah, so then like you go to this other bar and now you're in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? She's going to pick this bar and she's there being like, I want to be picked up. But now you're taking her somewhere else? If that was, I'm just saying, if that was me, I'd be like, okay, you're in control now. I don't know where we're going.
And then you buy her another drink, you have some conversation, and then you say, hey, my place is nearby.
My place is just around the corner.
Boom.
Mwah. Mwah. You're done. You've won your wife over.
You're done now. Double married. Married, the sequel. Married Requiem. Married Reloaded. Married The Two Towers.
Return of the Marriage.
That's the third movie, you idiot.
Yeah. It's the second bar. First bar is Return of the Marriage. Or no, the two married. Shut up.
Oh my god.
So that's how I would do, and that's how I operate as a person trying to seduce people. You know, as a man in the wild.
And I think that's how it works as well. It's like, you know, you're not being threatening, you're not being creepy, you're not being weird. Basically, find the seduction website, do everything that's not like the opposite.
Yeah. And like, I don't think as you progress throughout the night, I don't think like a playful like hand on the knee when they say something funny and you're laughing. I don't think like a hand on the knee and like a squeeze of like the thigh and a quick release, like make it deliberate, make it intentional. But I think like showing signs of like physical affection that are mostly harmless, like obviously don't go upper thigh, like around the knee. I think is a good place to be like, that's funny. And you know, kind of give that, or, you know, a shoulder like moments like that where you can actually like add some like physical intimacy. And I think things that could be fun to play with is if you have to get up, maybe lean a little bit too much into her personal space. And this is specifically for them now. I want to make that clear. This is for the married couple, not with people who are with strangers. But like, lean in almost like you're as you're getting up off your bar stool, almost like you're going in for a kiss and dip out.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun things like that. Like if she wants to be seduced and teased, I think you need to like really lay that on and be like moments of if say she likes, like the back of her neck touched or whatever, just hit her with one of those very subtly every now and then to get her going.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think what's important to realize is like this is her fantasy or her like role play game that she wants to play. So it's like make it about her. You know what I mean? I think that'll help you get out of your own head as well. This isn't a test. This isn't like, oh, I gotta make. Also, like, we never really addressed this. The fact that you're worried that your wife will see that you weren't able to pick up girls and will rethink her marriage with you, that's insanity, my friend. What she's really doing is she wants to play a fun game with you. You know what I mean? You picked her up. That's it. She's not like, shit, he got me to the point that we've been married for 7 years, but damn, I realize he might not have been able to get someone in this weird situation. So you're right, I should divorce him. That's an impossibility. That's not going to happen. So like make it about her, make her feel good, like make her feel desired and like sexy. And that's the point, you know what I mean? And like also, you could play a persona. You could pretend you're a businessman in town who's like, you don't have to be yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe specify what you guys want to do. Like maybe that's not what she's in for. Maybe you need like a little bit of a talk, but like in general, have fun with it, make her feel good. And that's the name of the game.
Yep. At the end of the show, we like to peruse online dating platforms like Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble. It's so hard. Like I always want to say Hinger.
Do it.
Hey, maybe dude, I will.
Just do it.
To peruse online dating platforms and profiles, looking for red flags, what works, what doesn't work, in an effort to make your online dating experience a little more enjoyable.
Simply put, it's Tinder time.
Hey, Tinder time.
This is Jasmine. Remember when people used to tell you don't judge a book by its cover? Boy, were they wrong.
Okay. I hope there's pictures to. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna say this is like a 3. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think 8 because it is kind of funny.
Kind of. It's also just like remember when they used to. It's like it's not an outdated saying. It's not like books are extinct. Books don't have covers anymore.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm about there with you. Maybe a 2. It's just so like. Are you saying we should judge you by your cover? Because like the picture I'm seeing is kind of bland. Are you bland? Is this a bland profile? Are you letting us know?
This is Pia. I'm not like other girls.
Oh god.
I'm allergic to avocados. Let's flirt for a bit.
Okay, 9. I like it.
Yeah. It's very good.
It's funny, and I do want to flirt for a bit.
I do. Yeah.
Ready for bliss?
Mm-hmm.
Versatile. No socials. Solo living. Henny sipping. Not a rapper. P.S. If you expect quick responses constantly when I work long hours, Abaha was respectfully?
What?
I don't know. No needy men, please, skull emoji. And then they have my real name is Najia, and then New Year's 2022.
What?
I don't know.
I'm going to give this a 1 because I don't understand half the things that are happening in this profile.
I like that they had to clarify that they're not a rapper.
I mean, that's good.
Why?
Because they're
because they said solo living, Henny sipping.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm gonna give it like a 1 because I'm perplexed.
Yeah. This is Maya. In quotes, Maya is a metronomic pulse on the face of the wound that makes you want to garrote yourself on an idle Sunday morning. MB.
That's a 1.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know who MB is. Is it her? Because her name is Maya.
MB or NB? I thought it was non-binary.
M. No, MB. Okay. As in, like, the quote is from someone with the initials MB.
It's a weird quote, though. I don't love it, and it also has absolutely nothing to do with dating, presumably.
Yeah.
And it would be impossible to garrote yourself, so...
That's what you think.
Mm-hmm. 1.
Okay.
This is Mary. Want to hook up? Swipe left. Unless a total dom kinky freak. JK, not trying to hook up with anyone. Want to hear some small talk style BS about how perfect the world is? Swipe left. Book emoji, music emoji, bed emoji, leaf emoji, fart emoji, or wind emoji, or weed emoji, I guess. Isn't that what you said it was?
I think it's smoking weed.
P.S. Not thick, just fat. Peace sign, kiss emoji.
This could be a 1 as well. Because, 1, you're not joking about that Dom thing at all. That's a very specific thing to be like, no, just kidding. It's like, no,
Yeah.
that's what you're looking for, but for some reason are too much of a coward to say it.
Well, that's the thing. We already said the whole no hookups is kind of a bit of a red flag, and they've said it twice. So it's like, damn. Also, small talk bullshit about how perfect the world is. Swipe. It's like, I don't want your negativity. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah. This is Saya. I go crazy for hedgehog dinosaur.
She goes crazy for hedgehog? Yeah, 10. I also go crazy for hedgehogs. I love hedgehogs.
Hedgehog, comma, dinosaur.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Damn.
I assume she means hedgehogs and dinosaurs.
Maybe it's like she thinks Stegosauruses are hedgehog dinosaurs.
Maybe.
Because they got those spiky backs.
Maybe.
Yeah. Why we have like a particularly bad batch because a lot of them are just nonsensical. It's not even like they're offensive. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
It's like a 2, I guess, because she likes hedgehogs.
Yeah, I'm going to give it like a 3 because what?
Sophie, I respect honesty above all else. Even if you're an asshole, non-monogamous.
I'm going to give it a 3 because like...
It's so bland. And it's like cool. Like you're good with assholes, I guess. Like, no. Respect yourself.
Yeah. This is my last one. Julia. Hiya, brand new in Toronto. I've been travel for a while and I always lived at the fullest of my life. I cannot say more, so you gotta find out, winky face. P.S. I'm Italian.
Maybe I don't want it to sound bad, but the fact that the grammar is so horrendous, it takes a lot out of me. I give it like a 5.
See, I can't say more, so you gotta find out. Makes me really nervous. Why can't you say more?
That's kind of what I wondered. I figured it was like a character limit.
No, not at all.
True?
We've read far longer things than this.
It's true. I don't know. That is a little intriguing, I will admit, but it's still a 5.
See, for me, it's not intriguing. For me, I'm like, what are you hiding?
Terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it. So it's gonna be like a 2 for me.
Okay. This is A. Looking for someone who's not injected and not joining the booster loyalty program. I guess the universe takes the reins on this one.
Christ. It's a 0.
Yeah, that's... A 0, I think, is being kind. Okay, I'm doing this last one very quick. Barbara. Chilean. Brain, please. And it's a brain emoji.
Now, are they talking about oral sex brain?
I assume they're a zombie.
Oh, maybe. Either way, I'm going to give this a 0 because it's nothing.
Or maybe they're from The Wizard of Oz.
Maybe, yeah.
If I only had a brain. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That's the end of the show, friends. We've made it. We did it. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Y'all are crazy, and we love you for listening to us and growing the show with us. Our Spotify Wrapped gives us so many warm feelings when we see there are people that like this as much as we like making it. So thank you very much.
116 of you listen to this podcast more than any other podcast, and that is a crazy thing to hear, and I love it, and I love you.
If you have a question for us, please head on over to fbuddiespodcast.com, hit the contact form, fill out your question. We'll answer it as soon as possible. If you'd like to support the show, same website, fbuddiespodcast.com. Click the Patreon link. It'll bring you to our Patreon page, at which point you can pledge whatever you're comfortable giving. At the $7 level, you get a free episode every month called Pillow Talk, where we get a little loosey-goosey, a little sexy. It's a fun, intimate time to hang out with us in another audio space. And finally, if for whatever reason the pandemic and Christmas is coming up, you don't have the cash to donate or support, that's fine too. Tell a friend, share it on your Facebook or Twitter, or if you see someone in a subreddit talking about dating, send them our way. We're happy to help, and sharing it is the best way to grow the show, and we greatly appreciate you guys giving your trust to us to guide your friends.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you to Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for their song Paper Stars, and it's bad sex writing time.
Whoop, whoop.
This is Sweet Blood of Mine by John Corwin. Wow, I said. Did you just call a guy hot? Never expected that from you. I am a girl, stupid. And I'm not batting for the other team, if that's what you were thinking. She wore way too much pink to be a lesbian or a goth, for that matter. Not that I was an expert on either. I glanced the approximate location on her nose where she usually wore a stud, wondering how large a hole these things left, but her skin looked perfect, unbroken. Couldn't spot any holes in her lips either. The studs must have teeny tiny pointy things on them. For some reason that made me feel better. It'd be a waste to mar such great skin with a bunch of holes.
It's a gross thing to say, but also pastel goth exists, and let me tell you, ladies, I'm here for it.
Also, lesbians can wear anything, you
No,
dumbass.
absolutely not.
I forgot, if you wear too much pink, you magically become straight. Fuck!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Beans. That's like
All I wanted to do was dress different so my wife could pick me up at the bar, and now I'm straight. Oh,
all you got to do is just put on a bunch of flannel, makes you gay again.
oh
There you
fuck!
go.
Thank God.
It's easy enough to flip flop back and forth once you know the styles you need to wear to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like if I throw on a mesh tank top, gay as hell.
Instantly gay.
Instantly
God.
gay.
Yeah. If I'm kind to my friends, oh, gay.
Gay. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Nell Spain.
We've been your fuck buddies.